Take, eat. This is my body. Welcome to The Big Puzzle. In this podcast, we explore the subtle connections between science, religion, politics, economics, and history. One piece at a time, we unveil the big picture of this shared experience that we call life. Let's go back to that Last Supper. As we mentioned before, the apostles and Jesus, they were celebrating the Passover. And at some point, according to 3 of the 4 Gospels, Jesus blessed the bread and he broke it and he gave to his disciples, his apostles. And according to Matthew and Mark, he said, "Take, eat, this is my body." Now Luke gives a slightly different phrasing of that, and he says that Jesus said, "This is my body which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me." So that last part is very important because it actually tells us that Jesus intended the bread to be something that we will remember him through, right? And you know, when we talk about the Passover, we said that the central part of the Passover was the sacrifice of a lamb. And, the lamb actually represented Jesus Christ. So it is very likely that there was a lamb during that Last Supper, but it's not mentioned by anybody. And why is that? I think there's 2 main reasons. The first one is that, Jesus, said that he would be ending the sacrifices. He would be the ultimate sacrifice. So if he wanted people to remember him from that time on, it hadn't need to be done by a sacrifice. So no more lambs, no more bulls, no more rams. All them represented Jesus Christ, but Jesus Christ now chose a different symbol. And we will be talking about the wine next. But for now, let's say that Jesus shifted the focus of that celebration from his identity to his mission. What do I mean by this? So what was his identity? Well, his identity was the Redeemer, the Savior. Right, and that was why they sacrificed animals, the ultimate sacrifice, the one that would save God's firstborn. That would be the one that would save not only all the other firstborns but everybody. So now Jesus was shifting to bread instead of the lamb. And we already talked a lot about the symbolisms of bread, but like I was mentioning, the first reason is because no more sacrifices, but there was also a practical sense. Jesus wanted his disciples and his followers to do that often, and it was not practical to sacrifice a lamb or to kill a lamb every time that they wanted to remember Jesus. So he was simplifying all the symbolism of the Pesach into bread that people would have everywhere. So it turned the Pesach into a portable and simple ceremony. And as we will mention, it's half of the ceremony, right? The bread is half of what Jesus intended to give his disciples and us to remember him. So in other words, we could say that Jesus synthesized the whole Pesach into bread, into a simple symbol. And, if we remember, Pesach had to do with freedom from physical harm, from ultimate death. And, Jesus wanted people to see in the bread his body. And this will become very, very relevant for his apostles because they would see his body in the next few hours all the way to his death and eventually few days later they will see him resurrected in his body. So that was not only an introduction to the things that they will have to remember that hadn't happened yet, right? And the other thing that is, I think, is powerful in the bread is that each piece of the bread is different, is unique. For me, that gives the idea that this plan of salvation is tailor-made. It's different for everyone, even though we need to live the same commandments and have similar experiences, and we all need the same Savior. But the experiences and the things we need to face are really tailor-made for each of us. Like each piece of bread is different, right? And also, I imagine that when Jesus said, "This is my body," and he passed the bread, I think that all the apostles remember that occasion of the discourse of the living bread that Jesus gave, and how the division that created in his followers, and how they decided that they would follow Jesus. So I think it was also a reminder that they were about to be rewarded for the sacrifices that they had made. Right? So tomorrow we will be talking about the other half of the sacrament, that is the wine. But for now, let's keep that. Let's say that Jesus reduced, synthesized everything from the Pesach into a portable, simple ceremony that the disciples could conduct pretty much everywhere and pretty much all the time. So, well, that will be it for today. So let's keep talking about this tomorrow. Bye.